That work.
Good.
Hmm?
Okay, guys. So I will go ahead and introduce our group. We are group 7, and we chose the company Target to do our presentation on. To start off, my name is Danielle Baeza. I'm a senior at CSUB. I'm a business admin with a concentration in human resources, and my future plan is to stay with the company that I currently work for, eventually moving to HR manager.
My name is Alexis Sanchez Garcia. I'm a senior here in CSUV 2. My major is business administration with a concentration in management, and my future plan is to get promoted in the school district that I'm working right now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel Subia. I'm also currently a senior at CHUB. I'm going to CHUB for business administration with a concentration in finance. And my future plan is just to work as a financial analyst for a reputable company.
I think your mic's muted, Romero.
Sorry about that. My name is Romero Santino Sanchez. I'm a senior at CSUB. My major is business administration with a concentration in finance, and my future plan is to work in corporate finance and maybe one day specialize in mergers and acquisitions.
My name's Derek Stitt. I'm also a senior at CCB. My major is business admin with a concentration in accounting. I currently just want to continue working as an accountant and building experience so I can eventually transition to an accounting professor.
Hi, my name is Murvat Shaheen. I'm senior at CSUB, Business Administration with concentration in accounting. My future plan to work as an accountant. Okay, so today we'll talk about Target Corporation. The business will see the business overview. We will talk about the marketing, economics, legal society, management, finance, human resources, and diversity. And the last one, we'll talk about operation information system.
So, my desired job is either human resources director or some sort of human resources specialist, and that was my occupation that I chose for ONET.
My desired job is somewhere in financial management. I would like to be a management like in a company or like in a school district.
My dream or desired job would be a chief executive of like finance and operations.
My plan for future or my dream to open my own business for bookkeeping, accounting, and auditing clerk.
My occupation that I want to do and that I chose for the ONET is just being an accountant. And like I said, long term, hopefully transition to accounting professor.
My desired job, selected from ONET, was going to be a financial and investment analyst.
And for a quick summary report or overview of human resources specialist is that they're responsible for recruiting, interviewing, and placing individuals with organizations while also handling a variety of HR functions such as employee relations, compliance, and record keeping. They maintain knowledge of employment laws like EEO and ADA, explaining policies and procedures, managing tasks related to hiring, benefits, and workplace issues. The role requires strong communication, critical thinking, and interpersonal skills, along with proficiency in HR and data management software.
The responsibilities of managers are to establish and maintain relationship with individual or business customers to provide assistance with problems these customers may encounter. They also oversee the flow of cash or financial instruments They also coordinate the activities of workers in branches, offices, or departments of establishments, pretty much.
Chief executives are top leaders of company and they're responsible for making major decisions that keep the business running smoothly. They direct and coordinate financial and budget activities to fund operations, maximize investments, and increase efficiency. They also meet with board members, organizational officials, or staff to discuss issues, coordinate activities, or solve problems. A big part of their work is preparing budgets for approval and making sure programs or projects have the funding they need. As well, they also plan and carry out policies and objectives to keep the organization successful, increase return on investments, and boost productivity. This job requires strong knowledge of business and finance, along with skills in problem solving, communication, and leadership.
For me, responsible for coordinating, processing, and analyzing financial transactions using accounting software ensures compliance with federal, state, and company regulation while maintaining accurate financial records. The software that we can use it, such as Intuit, QuickBooks, Sage 50 Accounting, and SAP Concur to manage and report financial data.
And yeah, for accountants too, they just examine, analyze, and interpret accounting records to help prepare the financial statements, give advice on them, or give audit opinions and evaluate the statements prepared by others or the accountants themselves. And some other stuff they do is just installing or advising on systems and recording costs or other financial and budgetary data.
And then for financial and investment analysts, they handle the financial information from businesses and clients to determine trends in the markets. Could either be risk, stability, pricing, economics, or anything else. The information that's gathered is then shared and advised to the company to determine the best course of action in terms of capital assets, debts, and more. The skills needed are software and database, such as IBM Statistics, PeopleSoft, SAP softwares, and more. And then it's also 4 years bachelor's degree is needed. The position is in bright outlook for the next couple of years with a sign of growth. And the average hourly pay is $48.73.
So the results of the test, I would say for me, they definitely align with how I am and what I want to do in reality, and they kind of just interact and go with my certain social situations as well.
Yeah, I agree with the results too because they seem to match my personality overall. I'm usually outgoing and friendly, so the higher score in extroversion makes sense. And then, yeah, that's it.
I also felt like my ONET results were mostly agreed with. I feel like that I am a very outgoing person and I enjoy being around others. I like to stay organized and responsible with my work and my goals. The high agreeableness score also made sense since I try to be cooperative and considerate towards others. However, I somewhat disagreed with the lower score in emotional stability because I usually handle stress and emotions fairly well. I also think that the lower score in intellection and imagination doesn't completely reflect me since I can be spontaneous and open to new experiences, even if I tend to stay practical. But overall, the test describes me accurately for the most part, but not perfectly.
I also agree with the test results because I'm normally a very quiet person and very shy, and the results describe an introvert person. I don't have a problem to talk or be social, but like most of the time I'm very calm and I always just normally think before act.
And then for my results from the Big Five personality test, I would say I overall pretty much agreed with all of them. I tend to keep to myself and not really socialize too much at events. I enjoy sticking with my inner circle, friends and family. It's kind of difficult to interact with strangers for a while. And then for emotional stability, I thought it was accurate because at times I can get a lot of anxiety or stress, but still remain calm and focused while trying to be there for others when emotionally needed. Um, and the same would for agreeableness, as I try to be there as much as I possibly can because there are unfortunate things that happen in life. Sometimes people just need a shoulder to lean on, especially with people I care about. Then I did agree with the conscientiousness, given that I enjoy being orderly and reliable.
For me, I agree with the most my Big Five personality test result because they reflect who I am in my daily life. I'm trying to be kind and actually I'm trying to be organized and meeting my goals. In the same time, my score was moderate, which feels accurate because I enjoy spending time with people, but also value my alone time to recharge. The only score I didn't fully agree with this one was openness. Since I think I'm more creative, hopefully, I believe myself, and the test suggested, but in overall, I found my result helpful in understanding myself better.
So yeah, this exercise pretty much just allowed us to learn more about our traits and what they mean, what they actually represent for us. And I think it also can reassure us some of the traits that we already all thought we already had.
I think our group learned that everyone has different personality strengths and weaknesses, which can affect how we work and communicate together. We also learned that understanding these traits help us respect each other's differences.
And the Big Five personality traits, the activity that we did helped our group learn that there is main differences in how people think, feel, and behave. And it also discovered how each person's traits like extroversion, agreeableness, consciousness, emotional stability, and openness affect the way we communicate and work together. And we also realized that having different personality types in a group can actually be a strength, I will say, or a weakness because it brings balance. Some people are more organized and focused, while others are creative or good at motivating others. Overall, this activity helped us understand ourselves and each other better, which can improve teamwork and communication.
In this activity, I think that we learn more about ourselves, to be honest, because I believe that before getting a job or doing something new, we have to know ourselves because sometimes we tend to accept jobs that don't make us happy and that could really affect us because our values and our well-being should be first than any other job because we should be working in a place that make us enjoy and make us happy going to that place every single day.
Yeah, I thought that our group learned a little bit more about themselves. I think that we all know ourselves pretty well, but getting a score on certain traits helps visualize who we are. The scores paints a picture on how we interact with one another and ourselves. It also opens our eyes on traits that we may dislike about ourselves and we'll try to change. While some are more positive than others, and then others are more negative, which has led to a realization of change in a good way. This is something that I believe our group learned.
From this activity, I believe that our group learned that personality differences can really influence how we work together. We realized that each trait contributes as something valuable. Some people keep things like unstructured and organized. And we also learn that understanding these differences helps reduce misunderstandings and mistake teamwork smoother. So overall, the Big Fives activity help us appreciate how unique personalities can complement each other when working toward a shared goal.
And summary report for the, hopefully I pronounce this right, RASIC model, created by John Holland, describes 6 personality types that relate to career interests. Realistic people enjoy hands-on, practical work, while investigative types like solving problems and analyzing ideas. Artistic individuals value creativity and self-expression, and social types enjoy helping and teaching each other. Enterprising people are leaders who like persuading and managing, while conventional types prefer organized, structured tasks. Understanding your RASIC type helps you choose careers that fit your personality and increase job satisfaction.
The RISEC model, designed by John Holland, it helps connect people or personal interests with suitable work environment. It just that career certification, sorry, comes from finding job that match one's personality type.
Yeah, the RISIC personality types include realistic, investigative, artistical, social, enterprising, and conventional, all of which are score dependent on how you answer each question to determine your high scoring traits. Then it correlates it to the professions based on your score. It attempts to find a career that will allow you to not one succeed but enjoy yourself as well.
The RISEC model helps people discover their passions with a series of questions that serves as a survey that encourages people to see what they really see themselves doing in the future. And it asks you a number of questions that accumulate, and it gives you an average of potential jobs based on what matches with you the most.
The RASIC model categorizes individuals into realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. After answering a series of questions, the assessment reveals your strongest personality types and recommends careers that best match your skills. This helps you choose a career path that feels fulfilling.
And yeah, kind of like everyone said, the Rising model describes 6 types of personality, including conventional, realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising. And after answering some questions, it helps describes and let you know which of these are the strongest for you.
So our group learned that the different personality types help people understand their strengths, interests, and ideal career paths. We discovered how each type, that realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional, matches different work environments and job roles. The activity showed us that knowing our top personality types can guide us towards careers that fit our skills and values. We also learned that teamwork improves when we recognize and appreciate each other's different strengths. Overall, the model activity helped us connect personality with career satisfaction and effective collaboration.
From the RISEC personality types activity, our group learned that people have different interests and strengths, sorry, that guide their career choices. The activity helped us see how personality influence the type of work we enjoy and where we are likely to success. It's also showed that everyone has a combination of types, which can explain why people are drawn to certain rules, like leadership, creativity, or problem solving. Overall, it highlighted the importance of aligning careers with a personal interest for greater justification and effectiveness.
Yeah, then what our group took away from the RISEC personality types would be getting a deeper understanding of how their interests align with the profession they're pursuing, being able to view and see the details of each personality type as well as how it correlates with the profession has allowed us to find a profession that is fulfilling rather than picking a job simply for the pay. While the work itself feels forced, this activity has shown each individual has different strengths and weaknesses that perfectly align with the profession based on their personality traits. Everyone has different strengths and different traits, which cause them to all have different professions. This test has ultimately left us with the idea of what we want to do with our future career in relation to these traits.
with this test, our group learned a lot, to be honest, because we didn't just learn about ourselves, but like about our dream, because um, our job is more about dream because we want to have an ideal job where we want to go happy every single day, and this test help us discover that and discover that we have dreams, and to make those dreams come true, we have to like keep working hard and to keep um, seeing those aspirations not just as dreams, but as a reality in the future.
I think our group learned that the personality type each activity help people understand themselves better and see how their interests connect to different careers. As well, we realized that it's okay for everyone to have different strengths and that those differences can help people work better together as a team.
So yeah, like not only did we learn about our personality types and specific strengths, it kind of allowed us a greater insight into potential career fields we might want to do. And being able to see these career zones and just filter them out just kind of lets us see what might be the best fit for us in our career. So I'm going to be talking about the legal environment for Target. So currently they're facing several lawsuits claiming that the company didn't fully disclose their financial risk tied to its DEI initiatives and also their private related marketing. So these suits kind of argue that the backlash from these campaigns hurt their sales and shareholder value, and that Target did not properly communicate these risks and make them more clear. So the issue is pretty important because it highlights how marketing decisions related to legal stuff can now create legal and financial exposures, especially when they involve social or political topics. So these companies are expected to be transparent about how their campaigns could in fact impact the performance. So right now, Target is still dealing with active litigation, reputational fallout, and also changes to their DI programs, which kind of keeps the issue in the media and adds more pressure as this is ongoing. So I guess the recommendation I have for Target is that they need to strengthen their disclosure practices and add a formal risk assessment process before launching these campaigns. And also kind of improve the communication with investors and stakeholders so its marketing strategy is both transparent and defensible moving forward. And then we can go into the next slide now.
And this slide focuses on Target's corporation's approach to human resources diversity, specifically how recent changes have impacted the company's DEI efforts. The issue is that recently Target scaled back its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and the company ended its formal DEI goals and rebranded its supplier diversity team as supplier engagement. And this shift may aim to streamline business practices, but it raises concerns about Target's long-term commitment to inclusion and equity. The importance of this is that DEI is critical because it does drive fair hiring, innovation, and a stronger company culture. It also helps build brand trust and attract diverse talent and customers. And when companies reduce visibility around DEI, it can hurt morale, retention, and reputation. The current impact is that as of 2023, Target's workforce was about 56% female and 43% male. In the US, 56% of employees were people of color, while 43% identified as white. However, representation decreases in leadership. Only 32% of officers are people of color, and the board is about 1/3 female. This shows leadership diversity is lagging behind the broader workforce. My recommendation to strengthen Target's DEI commitment, they should reinstate transparent DEI goals and report progress annually. It should also continue investing in leadership and supplier diversity programs that help deliver measurable results. Engaging employees and suppliers for feedback can help improve inclusion and consistent communication about DEI values, and it can reinforce trust among employees, customers, and investors. So ultimately, DEI is just a social goal. It's not just a social goal, it's a business advantage. And by recommitting to those principles, Target can maintain its reputation as a forward-thinking, more inclusive organization. Now I'll pass it on to the next team member.
So as you can see, as we just kind of talked about the last two slides, the DEI seems to be a pretty big issue for Target right now, as they scaled back a lot of their DEI initiatives, which is leading to public backlash and the loss of community sponsorships as well as organized boycotts because of this. So this obviously matters because brand trust plays a huge role in consumer behavior, especially among the younger and more diverse shoppers that Target kind of depends on. So right now, this backlash is pretty harmful to Target's reputation and is weakening their effectiveness of its marketing efforts. So even though the company is investing in programs like Target Circle 360 or Target Plus, Marketplace, and the Target app, stuff like that, these initiatives are not really delivering their full value. If the customers don't really trust Target and things can continue to decline, it's just not going to work out. So I think the recommendation for Target is that they need to take immediate steps right now to kind of rebuild credibility by openly addressing their issue, restoring community partnerships, and kind of pairing its value-focused marketing with more clear, measurable commitments to the communities it serves. I think this approach would just better help repair the brand sentiment while also strengthening more long-term loyalty with their customers. And we can pass it on to the next slide.
All right, so for this slide, I'm focusing on what's going on with Target's management system. So basically, the main issue is that Target has gotten way too complex at the corporate level, too many layers, slow decisions, and you can really see that in the fact that they recently cut about 1,800 corporate positions just to try to speed things up. Well, why this is important? Well, retail moves fast when decisions take too long. Stores end up messy. items go out of stock, and cost usually goes up. All of that affects the customer experience and Target's overall reputation. What's happening right now is that Target sales have been pretty flat or even declining, and a lot of store problems like messy layouts and slow staffing shows that this complexity is already hurting their performance. That's why those job cuts happened. So the recommendation is that Target needs to streamline the management structure, make accountability clearer, and improve communication between departments and focus on speed. If they do that, they can become a more flexible and responsive organization. Now I will pass it to the next person.
So in my slide, we did operations management, and the issue is that Target is having problem with how it manages its inventory and uses its information systems. Their systems are not accurately predicting what customers will buy, which is causing too much leftover inventory and slowing down their operations. This matters because when Target orders too much stuff, they lose money because they have to store it or put it on sale. Um, this matters as well because bad inventory data makes it harder for Target to compete with fast, efficient companies like Walmart and Amazon, and these problems increase costs and make the business run less smoothly. The current impact on Target stores sometimes run out of popular items while having too much of items people don't want. Slow or outdated tracking systems make it harder for employees to find items and restock shelves. And profits and stock price have gone down because investors see these issues as a sign of weak operations. Recommendation would be to improve the forecasting tools so Target orders the right amount of products. Upgrade information systems as well as use data from the app, website, and loyalty program to better understand what customers actually want. And lastly, work more closely with suppliers to speed up shipping and reduce delays. And we can go on to the next slide.
Okay, so I'll be going over Target's recent financial struggles, kind of putting the numbers to the issues that were mentioned previously. So Target did get a new CEO. His name's going to be Michael Fidlick. We can kind of see in the top left how the image shows when the last CEO kind of retired and then the new CEO coming in, how it just kind of went on an immediate decline in sales and performance. This also changes with the workflow structure and the revamping and restoration of new stores, as well as price cuts caused by tariffs, the DEI issues mentioned, and debate over the importance of e-commerce. So the points is of with this, any form of new leadership that comes in, there's going to be a change in strategic approaches. The new CEO is fairly young. He's in his, I believe, like mid to late 40s, and it's caused his decision making is being questioned on whether or not it's proficient or not, or if it's just a decline, and there may need to be a new CEO instated, or maybe he's just kind of getting off like new steps. And then the in-store changes, they're a little unfamiliar, so customers are receiving some they're just not liking the changes with it. And then the tariff cuts have led to over 10,000 merchandise to receive price cuts. While it benefits the customer, it leaves the revenue for Target a little bit on a declining side. And then the cuts in the DEI programs cause a lack of trust and inclusivity and then outrage. And we can see with the boycotting going on that just sales are kind of plummeting. And then so the stock prices have fallen by 30% since 2024 and overall 61% from their all-time high. Their most recent third quarter sales are down $25.3 billion. This is a 1.5 decrease from 2024. Their earnings per shares have dropped by 0.34. In 2024, it was $1.85. And then now around this time, it's about $1.51. The net sales have decreased over the last 5 years. I just put the most recent three. These numbers are in the millions. So back in 2022, for the net sales are at about $109.12 billion, and then just kind of decline from there. It's a slight decline, but still, it's just showing less sales from the previous years. This could be due to the mismanagement from the company stemming from the CEO. And the same thing also, their expenses have also increased. Just kind of trying to stay up with those after incurring losses from their cuts. And then their operation income has also declined a little bit, but still shows a decline. So some recommendation be communication and announcements to the public of internal and in-store changes to give them a heads up, as well as maybe product and layout testing on surveys, to kind of just get the feedback from the customers, implement them, change them, just to give them overall better experience. And then focus on price cuts necessarily for necessity items, not other miscellaneous items that customers may not even use that may benefit, as well as offering in-store and online coupons for better savings, such as bundling, and then just to decrease their overall costs with daily operations. So that way it can overall lead to a growth compared to their competitors, because right now, like Walmart is improving and seeing increases while Target is just overall declining. Okay, and this video is going to just be the most recent challenges the company has faced.
Joining us right now to talk a little bit more about this is Stacy Widlett. She is the president of SW Retail Advisors. Stacy, what's your reaction to this news?
Good morning, Becky. I'll be honest, I think I'm a little surprised that.
Joining us right now to talk a little bit more about this is Stacy Widlett. She is the president of SW Retail Advisors. Stacy, what's your reaction to this news?
Morning, Becky. I'll be honest, I think I'm a little surprised that there wasn't somebody from the outside coming in to take a leadership role. I think that's part of the stock reaction here. And I think, if you look at, Joe, you're talking about the reaction to DEI, it's a narrative. A lot of companies have talked about that, but the bottom line is Target is losing share in more than half of their categories. In addition, it's been talked about at length that the stores are a mess. They're in disarray, inventory shortages, labor shortages because they're reallocated to the back room to fulfill because they're fulfilling from stores.
Gabriel, I don't know if it's because you muted your camera, but the video's muted.
The majority of their comp growth is coming from the higher income.
Are you able to hear it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Came at us, but the bottom line is Walmart comps have been up mid singles and Target's been down, they're down 2, but 3. There's something like a 7 to 8 comp point spread between the two. And I think tells the story. And Becky, of course, you pointed out very importantly that this is a traffic issue. If you look at Walmart, traffic's up. If you look at TJX, traffic's up and ticket. Target is losing traffic, particularly in stores. And that is a result of what you're seeing in the stores, whether that's at execution or the inability to get product because everything is locked up.
You're right. You got the CFO coming in. It was the that's probably was he's 49. So it's not quite kind of between 40 and 50 right on the.
Stacey, who else is stealing market share? Is it just a Target versus Walmart story, or are there other retailers that are taking a piece of this too?
I think a good chunk of it is Walmart. If you listen to them, they're talking about the majority of their comp growth is coming from the higher income consumer. That's the target consumer. Of course, it's coming from Amazon, and it will be coming more from Amazon as Amazon rolls out fresh food increases same day. And, Becky, I would point out that if you look at Kohl's, Target was gaining a ton of share from Kohl's during COVID because Target had food and consumables and Kohl's doesn't. That has stopped. Kohl's comps continue to decline at a significant pace. Target should be picking that up. That is their natural across the street competition, and they're not picking that up, I think, which tells you a huge amount about the lack of execution and the lack of traction here.
The idea with the staffing issues that you point to because they're trying to fulfill online orders or these next day orders from the stores directly. That was their point of pride during the pandemic, and it's actually still been the thing that's been helping them even with these most recent numbers. The reason the comps were only down by 1.9% is because those same-day delivery was much higher. I think it was up by more than 24%. What do you think they should do to address that? How do they get their arms around that when it's been the one thing that's still been driving their growth?
Becky, you're right. It's been absolutely a home run, particularly during COVID, to the ability to, curb pickup, and that ease for the consumer, same day delivery, and that has been growing significantly and driving digital. But I think, again, if you look at the store comps, they need extra labor, and it comes unfortunately at a time when their sales are declining at such a pace, and also they've been promoting more to move merchandise. Most retailers right now are promoting less, not only because of the tariff impact, but because a lot of them have just gone full price and they're sticking to it, like a Tapestry, like a Ralph Lauren. Target is still pushing product out the door through promotion. So, I would say it's unfortunately it's a labor issue that the stores need to be cleaned up.
So it's an issue of where or how they protect their margins at a time when you also have higher tariffs, and they're saying they don't want to pass those costs on to their consumer because they're worried about losing even more traffic.
And that's a really tough situation because, as we know, a lot of the inventory that you see in the stores now and even back to school was pushed forward when the tariff original impact was announced. Now we're rolling into holiday and beyond, where those prices are going to have to come up, or you're going to have to sacrifice margin. And again, for a company that's already promoting to move stuff through the stores, that's a very tough situation versus other companies that are full price and even able to pass on a little bit of price increases to offset the impact of tariffs.
So you don't like the stock even with the declines that you see today and that you've seen year to date?
Can you tell? No,
Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much the recent challenges that they've been facing with their finances and as well as other issues going on within the company.
we change.
And then this is going to be our reference slides of some of the information that we pulled from each and every slide on here, and then our survey codes, and then that's going to be it for our presentation.